I am now creating weekly exclusive content for Patreon, so if you are interested in that, go check out the link down below. And of course, if you want to avoid the random lottery of FIFA points, you want to go straight to the source, buy the players directly, use u7buy.com and use the code TVM at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to another prediction video. This time, for the first time in a long time, Team of the Week predictions. EA said it would be back on Wednesday, so here we go. I have more cards than ever before because I don't know what EA are going to do. There are less leagues on, but that just means that even more confusion, right? So up first, and I'm not going to, you have to pause this and go through it at your own pace if you want, because I'm just going to flick through them very quickly until we get to the, not better players necessarily, but the more well-known. Michal, 1 goal, 4-0 win for Lask, played an 8.4, not bad at all. Totw, 2 goals off the bench in a 3-2 win for Shakhtar. I've also, make note, I've boosted the cards by 2 rather than 1. I'm hoping EA do that. Yilmaz with 1 goal, 2 assists in a 5-1 win. Not the only player from Besiktas to talk about though. I'll put the next one up. He's actually higher rated. A card that played better on paper. Ljajic, 8.7, and he got a goal as well in that 5-1 win. I have upgraded people by 2. I've given them 2 in-form boosts rather than 1. Maxim with 1 goal in a 3-3 draw, and get this, he scored in the 90th minute plus 15, and it was a penalty, so I doubt he'll make it, but you never know. 5-star skiller as well. Nasame with a hat-trick in a 3-2 win for Young Boys. Probably said his name wrong, but doesn't look like a terrible card for an 84. The problem with this, of course, is awful lot of these cards, in fact nearly all of them, in fact I think all of them, are going to be behind the curve. Itten, 2 goals in a 2-1 win, played an 8.4 as well. Again, one of those cards that if he comes out, fans of the club might like him, no one else is going to. PEDRO TIBA, 1 goal in a 2-0 win from centre mid. I'm hoping EA do a little bit more than a 2 boost, but I can see them just doing a standard boost, to be honest. Weigl, he could go up to an 85 potentially. He's probably more likely to be an 82 or an 83 though. He has, of course, got 1 goal in a 2-1 win for Benfica. I can move on very quickly here with Stefan. 1 goal in a 3-1 win. He is a position change from a left mid to a left back. There are quite a few position changes. I won't mention them all, but just bear that in mind. Deek, not sure. 2 goals in a 2-0 win for him. Not a particularly great looking card. Let's move on to Ivanusic. Maybe. 1 goal in a 3-2 win. Strong link, of course, into Orsic, not Perisic, although he does get a soft link into Perisic. Let's move on to Miranchuk. This guy has 1 goal in a 1-0 win. There are an awful lot of goals in the Russian league this weekend just gone, but of course, half of the teams and players aren't in the game. Cecina has himself a team of the season card, 2 goals in a 3-1 win, played a 9.1. Miranchuk, by the way, played a 9.0, so they are definitely worthy of it, but he already has a team of the season. Guilherme has got himself 1 goal in a 3-0 win for Olympiacos. A couple of goals knocking about in that league as well, but again, half the players aren't in the game. So anyway, Juncker, he already has an inform this season, but for a different club. Now he's gone and scored a hat-trick for his current club in a 6-1 win. Played a 9.1 as well. Definitely deserves an inform, very pacey player. Pellegrino got himself a hat-trick as well. Sounds Italian with that name, doesn't he? 7-2 win, and he also played a 10, which is obviously the best you can do, and that is a match rating done by SofaScore, so take it with a pinch of salt. Lauritsen, 1 goal, clean sheet, 3-0 win for a centre-back. That is pretty impressive stuff. Let's move on once more to a guy I'm not even going to try and pronounce the name of. He's got himself a hat-trick, though, in a 4-3 win, and played a 10, so how can you deny him? I'm sure EA will find a way to do that. DAMSGAARD with 2 goals in a 4-0 win. And he played a 9.3 as well from centre mid. That again is very impressive. Hopefully he gets that 2 boost, because without it would be a bad card. Gassama exactly the same. Even with the 2 boost isn't a very good card. He's got 2 goals and a 2-0 win. EA won't include him, but I had to because he deserves a shout. Denis Suarez, one of 3 Celta Vigo players worth mentioning. Denis Suarez is probably the player that won't get it. He got 2 assists in a 6-0 win. The other player, or one of the other 2 players to mention, is Rafinha. He'll probably be the one to get it. Rafinha got 2 goals in a 6-0 win, played an 8.8. So technically speaking, on paper, did play better than Denis Suarez and Nolito. Nolito with 1 goal and 1 assist in a 6-0 win. He is going to give me FIFA 13 flashbacks if he gets it, although I don't think he will. Guedes up next. Worthy contender for Team of the Week, although would be exactly the same rating as his Footmas card, so EA might have some sort of summer heat thing in mind for him. Let's move and stop to talk about Sergio Ramos for a second. He scored a goal, then got taken off injured, but in scoring that goal, he became the highest goal-scoring defender in La Liga history. Definitely worthy of a record-breaker card. Whether anyone would really want it, though, is probably null and void. I have boosted that shooting up, though. Carazor, yeah, 2 goals and a clean sheet and a 6-0 win, and of course played a 9.1 for Stuttgart. Moving on to the Bundesliga proper, Lewandowski with 2 goals and a 3-1 win has a Team of the Season card. I'm sure the headliners are still active, by the way. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure they are. EA said that they were going to extend it. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but a 97 Lewandowski would be nice in packs. Haaland has a Team of the Season, of course, but with 2 goals and a... Does he have a Team of the Season? I think he does, right? 2 goals in a 2-0 win for Dortmund over Leipzig, which is a pretty big result. They, of course, Dortmund now just chasing second place as it's impossible for them to win the league. Moving on to Stindl, 2 goals in a 3-1 win for Borussia Mönchengladbach. He played a 9.1 as well. He's come on really well in the last few games of the season. Didn't have a particularly outstanding first half of the season. Since the restart, though, he's been on fire. Let's go and talk about a player who has had 2 special cards already, not for performance-based things, but Mbabu. This would be the lower of the 3. 1 goal and a 4-1 win for Wolfsburg. The other player worth mentioning, of course, is Weghorst. I wouldn't really like to see that card because he would be absolutely useless, so that's where I went with Mbabu. Moving on to Baumann. Doesn't really deserve to be here, to be honest. He kept a clean sheet in a 4-0 win. I think he only made 2 saves. I couldn't find any goalkeepers that were worthy of it. Even the other goalkeeper that I've chosen is a very dodgy one at best. So, yeah, just take that with a pinch of salt. As the Bundesliga's finishing next week, though, I wouldn't be surprised. Eriksson didn't do anything particularly in terms of goal contributions. Did play an 8.2, which was better than any other Inter player. They won 2 goals to 1. I think there's only been 2 Italian league games since the restart, Atalanta being involved in the other game, and there is a player to speak of from there in just a second. Of course, Juve do play tonight, and currently playing probably as you're watching this, and obviously I've not included that. Zapata of that Atalanta game with 2 goals and a 4-1 win. This would be a decent looking card on paper. Whether he would play well in game or not is probably, it's probably not, right? But either way, 89 rated card in packs would be pretty nice. Let's move over to England then. Only the 2 leagues to speak of. Junior Hoylett being in the Championship, scoring a goal for Cardiff in a 2-0 win over Leeds. 2 decent goals from Leeds' mistakes, I might add, but still, definitely worthy of a shout. And the other player, Evans, with 1 goal in a 3-1 win over Bristol. It looks like an absolutely atrocious card, but he's definitely in there with a mention, that's for sure. Now, 3 Premier League players, none of which are particularly great, although Lloris, he would be usable, right? We've got 6 saves in a 1-1 draw with Manchester United. One of the saves in particular was fantastic, and I definitely think he's in with a shout there. But like I said, goalkeepers were just few and far between. I could not find them. So let's move on to Newcastle's performance. They won 3-0 against Sheffield United. It was a pretty big victory, really, if you think about it. Ritchie with 1 goal, 1 assist has to be the player who gets it, although I would not be surprised if EA decided to go for St. Maximin, or if they're keeping the ones to watch alive, I wouldn't be surprised if they went for Joelinton. Maupay is a very, very controversial figure in Premier League football amongst Arsenal fans right now, so I apologise if I've offended anyone by including him in here, but let's be honest, he scored the winning goal against Arsenal. That's just an EA inform worthy thing to do, right? So he has to be mentioned in terms of informs. Doesn't look like a particularly good card if that does soften the blow to anyone. But there we go. I am out of breath. That is 39 players, and I have absolutely no idea whether I've got any of them right. The problem with this, of course, is that if they decide to just do Team of the Week as they normally do, giving them the standard inform boosts they normally do, then quite literally none of those cards will be worth buying. Apart from maybe Lloris, which would probably be 91 rated, I think, maybe. But either way, none of those cards would be worth going for, because they would all be just unbelievably behind the curve. As it stands, they're still not great, but at least some of them are going to be usable. That Ramos card, for example, he'll be usable, although he does have 2 better cards than that out. And then, of course, Lewandowski has a better card, but again, would still be a decent card to get. So, yeah, remains to be seen what EA decide to do. Take everything with a pinch of salt. If you think I've left anybody out, feel free to let me know in the comments. It took me ages to do this, though, because I was more thorough than I ever have been before. And I'm hoping I've pretty much got every single one of them correct. If you have enjoyed it, though, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index. The game changed. Download the app now.